Yo, and we're back. What a devastating defeat. It was another game San Jose State should have absolutely won. They let victory slip out of their own hands, a 30-29 defeat to the Stanford Cardinal. They have lost, I think it's 54 games now against Stanford Cardinal. They could have won their first time back to back since the turn of the century. But all that was for naught. I want to absolutely get the most important piece out of the way so far first. Walker, you get first 2 games of the season, first 2.5 games of the season, people were calling for his head. They were saying, what do we have in Tama Amasoni? This career high in passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. I predicted that Stanford would win this game, but I predicted it on the fact that I thought there were going to be a couple turnovers for us in this game. Walker, you get what a great job. He was decision making almost perfect. Did he have a couple of risky throws? Sure, every quarterback does. But I mean, decision making great. Ball placement was great. He improvised. There was some scrambling in there. I mean, just what a game from Walker Egan. I could not say enough about how well he performed tonight. This loss, just what a game by him. He's such a professional guy. He'd probably say in the press game conference that we need to convert better in the red zone, and that's on me. That's on the offense or whatever. Regardless, at 470 plus passing yards, he did a phenomenal job tonight. So the first thing we can get to on how they lost tonight would be the passing yards. Stanford, I think they're bottom 20 in the nation in passing yards. Sorry, camera. There we go. Bottom 20 in the nation in passing yards per game or whatever. Ben Branson was really struggling to begin this year. 444 passing yards in this one. It is the most passing yards that San Jose State has allowed since 2018. At the moment, it just feels like their secondary is a get-right game. And coming into the year, we saw the transfers of DJ Harvey and Michael Dansby. We knew it was probably going to be an area where teams elected to test them, and boy, oh boy, did they get tested today against Stanford. Idaho was a run-heavy team, and we saw that. They ran against them. They bend, didn't break. Texas, there was some miscommunication. You could handle that, or you could explain it away. The Central Michigan game, again, lots of running. I think the third fewest passes in the country in that game, so you didn't really know what you had. Tonight, you now know what you have. That was a very difficult game to see. They allowed 212 passing yards in the fourth quarter alone. That's almost half of all 444 Ben Branson had today. And what a game from Ben Branson. 6-year guy. He played San Jose State last year in a loss, and he shredded up the secondary today. So shout out to him. Some really bad tackling today as well. You got to give all the props to the D lineman. Nafafunga, I mean, another great. The run game, the run defense today was so. A team that came into the game that was ready to run the ball. It came to points in the first half where you thought, man, Duncan Branson's really tearing them up. I wonder why they don't pass the ball more, because they came in ready to run the ball, and Nafafunga and Taniela Latu, players like that, who forced a fumble in the first quarter, they came to play. So that D-line, I think they really did their job. Linebackers struggled tackling. Secondary struggled tackling, struggled covering. It was a long day for that secondary. Again, the most passing yards allowed since the 2018 season. That's about 7 years now that it's been for that. I didn't even mention there were also 4 sacks today. So again, Derek Odom did a good job scheming up some blitzes. I don't think you can really completely blame this on Derek Odom, because there were so many just missed tackles, so many curl routes, and then a corner would come in and make the tackle, and they would just completely miss, and the receiver would run right around them for about another 10 yards. There's just some really sloppy tackling in this one that you could scheme up to coaching for sure, but I think a lot of it could also be chopped up to effort. It was a lot of yards after the catch. That was disappointing to see. I think that's what it looked controllable. Now, of course, if you look at the plays of the game, what I thought were the most important, number one's going to be that 4th down conversion. That was unacceptable. Running right by the safeties to get that 1st down and basically seal the deal. After you saw that 4th down conversion, you kind of knew what was to come after that. So was the coverage great? Absolutely not. But I mean, it was just the tackling, just the will to get players after they got the ball. It was so difficult to see that it slowly. San Jose State had that game, absolutely. But the missed tackling, it was just a slow bleed to watch them lose it. Once again, there were kicking troubles. 2 misses inside the 30, and there was a decision at one point by Niumatalolo that, all right, we're not going to kick it a field goal. We're going to go for it on 4th down, and they don't get it. Who knows if you kick that field goal and he makes it, and it's a San Jose State win. There's And if they were to get Stanford were to get the 2-point conversion after that, with that field goal make, then it would have been tied. But if they didn't get it, obviously there'd be a lot more lines. Certain situations change. Whatever. Point being, we made a video 2 weeks ago saying your expectations for the kicking game, it should be uncertain. He made his first 2. He missed another 2. He made another. You cannot expect the special teams unit to be consistent. That's all I would say. Even from inside, it's evident now you cannot trust the consistency of the kicking game. And I don't know if you can trust the decision making prior. I think coming into this game, I thought, all right, every time they get into that red zone or every time they miss those opportunities, it's going to be a field goal kick. And it got to a point today where Niumatalolo said, all right, we're going to start going for it on these 4th downs. Didn't convert. It was probably the smart analytical play. Point being, you don't know where there's going to be consistency in those 4th down calls anymore. That's something that, I mean, they had it. They had this game. If they just make one of those field goals, it's very tough to come across. And that's, in my opinion, the second most important play is just either one of those missed field goals. That's a game. Making the decision to kick another field goal in the event he makes it. There you go. Another thing that was so tough to watch is the penalties in this game. Stanford had 11 penalties, and you think to yourself, if Stanford has 11 penalties, we must be in the clear. Leland Smith on his own drew 2 penalties today for pass interference, getting the ball down the field. But San Jose State just continued to shoot itself in the foot. Even on that first drive, Ben Gilbertson, I think he went 6 for 6. He didn't need to go 6 for 6 if San Jose State didn't keep them in it with stupid penalties in that first half. And then, of course, in the 4th quarter, when the drives looking to be iced, it was like a 2nd and 5, something like that. 2 holdings on the offensive line. Yeah, it's just unacceptable. The clock's going to tick regardless. You at least can just keep the ball on the ground, no waste clock, and I know you don't want to let the defensive lineman through, but you got to be smart in that situation. Just let the ball through and let the clock continue to tick. That is not what happened there. They back it up, and they're not able to. They had the ball, and they should have been able to close that game out. Unfortunately, it just did not happen, and that's really tough to see for a team through the first 3 weeks. 4 penalties max in every game. I think each game they had exactly 4 penalties, if I'm not mistaken. Really difficult to see that tonight. Just you chop it up to bad tackling, tough coverage in the secondary, special teams play, and then those inconsistent or not smart penalties that really shot them in the foot. One more super high regard, something that even led this team to be in this game is, oh my God, the receivers. I didn't include Jackson Kanan in this graphic, but I mean, just pick your poison. These guys know how to get downfield. They know how to continue breaking coverage. Kyrie Scholes, I mean, he has broken out, really. He looks like, I'm not sure what the snap counts are. I'm going to have to check them, and I'll post them tomorrow. But I don't think he comes off the field anymore. Basically, Danny Scudero, he gets targeted. I thought he was going to come off the field. I don't know how he got right back in on the very next play, but 2 absolute dogs. And Leland Smith, does he probably want that last play back where he holds on to the ball and gets in the field goal range? Yeah, probably. There was another couple shots where I think he had an end zone opportunity and he missed it, but I don't have any of that against them because they're the reason they were even in this position today. Danny Scudero, Kyrie Scholes, Jackson Kane, and Leland Smith. I mean, what performances from those receivers today? And the guy who's getting the ball, Walker Eget, just what a performance from him. I expect Walker Eget, when I check Pro Football Focus, to have like a top 5, top 10 quarterback performance in the nation this past week, because what a job he had done. But just a very, very unfortunate loss from San Jose State. And again, coming into the day, I thought the rush defense has been very difficult for San Jose State this season. And what does Stanford love to do? They love to rush the ball. So that's going to give them trouble. And I thought, they've given up a turnover in every week so far. That turnover is going to come back and bite them. San Jose State won the turnover battle. Taniela Latu forced that first turnover, and they immediately scored 7 points off of it with a Danny Scudero touchdown. And that comes back. It's like the drive didn't even matter because of the missed field goals and the decision-making, holdings. It was just so disappointing to watch. Now you go into conference play, and we'll make a video about predicting the rest of the conference schedule and how San Jose State fares. But you go against a New Mexico team that's probably going to kick your butt just because of how well they've done to open up this season. Then you have 2 back-to-back games on the road, if I'm not mistaken, and they're within 7 days of each other. You play one on Saturday, one on Friday, Saturday, one of those things. It's going to be a very difficult season moving forward if these are the opportunities that you continue to shoot your foot into. I predicted that San Jose State was going to start the year 1-3. I thought there's definitely a world where they're unprepared in week 1. Texas kills them in week 2, and then Stanford, it's gonna be a close battle, and that's exactly what happened. I don't wanna pat myself on the back, but I think this result was very predictable, and it's exactly what ended up happening. It's not the team you wanted to see come out, but it is the team that has resulted so far. Um, yeah, just a very, very, very disappointing loss. I don't think this is as disappointing as the Central Michigan game. But with that being said, man, it's it is right up there. I can't under the Nimasolo era. I think this is top 3 for sure. Um, yeah, just a tough loss. We'll be back. I'll post the snap counts on Twitter tomorrow. I'll post a video predicting how San Jose State does in their Mountain West schedule. I have a couple other ideas brewing in the vault, and then of course we'll do the New Mexico preview for this upcoming week. But again, Stanford 30, San Jose State 29. San Jose State is now 1-3 to start the season. It'll be difficult. They need 5 more wins in 8 games to clinch a bowl game, but we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do. Thank you for watching. Please comment down below how you thought this game went, if I missed anything covering this one. And yeah, thank you again for your time.